Hey everybody, this is Bonnie Barker, Bonnie Bay Crochet. Sorry for that short delay. Um, I hit the right button. The computer was little bit a little bit behind the times. So, welcome to Friday Fun Live. This is where we sit and talk about whatever is coming up in our worlds in crochet. Talk with each other, pray for each other, ask questions. I get to share some new designs and whatever. But we're going to talk about the weather. I mean, how can we not? I hope you all are doing well and staying warm. This morning it was 6 degrees here. It's going up to a very humid, I'm joking when I say that, 19 degrees. So that'll be our high for the day. We have not been above freezing since we last met. So all that beautiful snow you may have seen me posting photos of, it's still out, right out there and out there and there and there and there and there. Thankfully, we're able to clear our driveway, and a lot of you may be wondering, did our snowblower work? It worked well on snow. And my husband did a beautiful job. He cleared our horseshoe-shaped driveway in about 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes with the snowblower, with the 6 inches of snow. But then, as many of you on the southeast area know, we ended up we followed that with about 3 inches of sleet. Thankfully, no freezing rain, but sleet, which compacted like so much that our car could sit, our Toyota Highlander could sit on the ice and not really barely make a dent in it. So we had to shovel that, which it wasn't that bad actually. It was, it went pretty well. It wasn't like shoveling wet snow. So I know this is probably gibberish to you all who are south of the Mason-Dixon line, but you're getting your turn this weekend. I checked the weather, and Hannah has been listening to the weather reports coming in where she is. If you're in the Carolinas, South Carolina, they're expecting, the northern part of the state is expecting anywhere from 2 to 4 inches along the coast, at least. And my friends in North Carolina, you better have everything ready because it looks like you all are going to get a lot more, like double that. Of course, that's just a prediction. This is not a weather channel by any stretch of the imagination. But I just think it's just interesting because kind of getting back to normal winters again. This is what winter was like when I was raising my children here in Maryland. Have had a few off years, but I think it's back. So, of course, I've spent some of my winters in the South with my mother-in-law. So I haven't had a full complete Maryland winter in the last 6 years. So, but anyway, I hope you all are bundling up with all your homemade goodies, your blankets. Got my sweaters out. And I wanted to tell you about a design. It's an old design. It's actually in my book, The Beginning Crochet for Beginners. Bonnie's Beginning Book of Crochet is what it's called. I should have a copy here, but I don't have one with me. Let me see. Do I have one here? No, I do not. Okay. Anyhow, let me go ahead and turn this just a little bit there so you can see. That's really close to the kitchen. All right. Well, I went ahead, and I do call this a beginning project. It's teaching beginners the basket weave. And so what you do is work the basket weave back and forth. The original one, I worked with just a fingering weight yarn. I used really colorful, pretty yarn, and which was fine. When I was outside in the teens shoveling snow, it was pretty brutal. It was cold. It's not just at freezing. It's just the colder you get below the freezing point, it just kind of the cold just kind of goes through your clothes. I don't know how to explain that. But anyway, so this is the original, which was made up of merino superwash and a little bit of nylon. And it was okay. It wasn't as warm as I wanted. So I went to my stash and I found some really luscious yarn. I found this. Let me see if I can show you. Okay, this in my stash. And this was yarn that was discontinued, and actually it was less than what that price is. It was a lot less than that. It was in a, I'm getting rid of this yarn basket at a yarn store. Listen to the natural fibers in this, and it is a fingering weight yarn. 45% extra fine merino, 25% baby alpaca, 15% mulberry silk, 15% yak. So yeah, I was saving this for a special, oh, I'll make my husband a hat that'll never wear, kind of a thing. And I never made it, and I pulled it out. It was, my ears were so cold, and I'm like, no, I want to do something with this. So what I did is I took the fingering weight yarn and I paired it with another. I had two of these balls. So I put two strands together, and it ended up with a very much more warmer headband. But look at this. You can also wear this as a neck warmer. Okay. Where we are now with the weather temperatures we're getting, I am more going for warmth than I am going for fashion, but if you can have both, why not? But anyway, so I you can wear this as a neck warmer. Okay. But when I said I wanted my ears warm, I didn't just want a little tiny fashion headband statement. I wanted real warm. So what's really cool about this, or warm about it, is it really does. Can you see that? Super coverage, the warm, very soft natural fibers that are combined, and I'm still using the same G hook so that the stitches were really tight. So that kind of helps keep, some of the air, the wind, from going. I mean, nothing is going to totally stop that, but this helps a lot. And it kind of keeps my hair out of my way when I'm out there dealing with the snow with my husband and my son and everybody. So anyway, so that's just, if you're looking for something, and this is something that works up, you can probably do one of these in an evening easily. And I wanted to show you, you don't have to go out and run out and buy yarn for this. I went through my yarn stash. I have, confession, okay, I have a whole box. I'll show you the bottom, a whole box. And what this is left over from completed projects. And these are fibers that are merino wool, silk combinations, alpaca. I mean, who's not going to love that? So, but it's not really enough to make a sweater or a pair of gloves or or a scarf or anything. Okay, you're talking, maybe a couple hundred yards, which again, it's not going to do a whole lot. But what you can do, you can make a headband. And what I would encourage you to do is, if you take a regular strand, let's say of, this is a merino fancy schmancy kind of yarn, and you can combine it. Look at this. You can combine it, and I'm going to make some of these this week, I promise you. And you can combine it with a strand of, let's say, mohair. You can add this white mohair really to any color yarn, and it's going to thicken the strand a bit. It's going to give you a softer yarn. And mohair, as far as my yarn knowledge goes, is probably the warmest fiber, natural fiber, or one of the warmest, one of the top. Even though um, it looks thin, it doesn't look like there's much to it. It looks kind of like cotton candy. But believe me, this stuff is warm. And if you add just a thin layer to your leftover yarn and make one of these, it's going to be warm. It's going to be what you're going to need this weekend. If you're, well, anyway, I know the Carolinas will probably be getting snow, but the rest of us north of that line, north, are still not going to see freezing probably for a while. We're not expected to see above freezing temperatures in the next 10 days, and we've already been below freezing. So again, not complaining. This is winter. This is what it's all about. But let's combat it with something fun and something that we can, make up easily. And again, if you want to go wild colors, you can do that. But experiment with that, or even take two colors. These may not be the perfect two, but take two strands of your worsted weight yarns. Experiment with it. It doesn't have to be, perfect. It doesn't have to be a magazine cover quality, but something just to keep you warm. And let me tell you, this is going to be the one I stick in my coat pockets going forward, because this is the one I'm going to be wearing. It works, practical. Okay, on and on and on. And I have the link for that video. It's called the Easy Beginners. Yeah, I called it an Easy Beginner. Easy Beginners Basket Weave Headband. The link is in this video description, so you don't have to go hunting on my channel for that. And also, just people sometimes ask, I'm wearing an older design. Again, I'd made this a few years back, and I'm calling this the colorful, let me see, colorful popcorn pullover. And I also have a link for that in the video description if you're looking for it. It again, easy peasy. Well, for the most part, it's definitely an intermediate project. But anyway, oh, here's some more mohair colors I have left over. This actually, that might actually combine really well with this color. So I don't know. I'm going to be experimenting this week, using my remnants, my leftovers, and see what we can do. All right. Well, let me go ahead. I've been talking too much here. So let me go ahead and get to the chat. This is my favorite part of doing this. Brad's mom, it's so good to have you in the chat. Good morning. She says, good morning, Bonnie, Hannah, and Becky, and all my dear Yarnies from cold and soon to be snowy Southwest Chicago suburbs. Oh, yes. Please, friends, don't forget to smash that thumbs up button. Thank you for those of you who've done that already. 64, 59 of you have. No. 18. Thank you so much for doing that. Always forget to ask. Thank you, Linda, for that reminder. And Sandra says, good morning, Bonnie, Hannah, and all my Yarny friends from a nice Southern California day. It will be 73 here in Beaumont. Oh, wonderful, Sandra. Can you bottle that and send us some? No, it's all right. We are enjoying the snow here. I've got plenty of yarn to stay busy inside. Doesn't matter. But enjoy that Southern California weather for us. It's been a while since I've experienced the 70s. But anyway, and Wanda Gordon, looks like you're going to get snow, my friend. She says, good morning, Miss Bonnie and everyone. Praying all are doing well, prepared for the coming snow. Good job, Wanda. Glad you're prepared for that. I hope somebody can get out there and help you with shoveling. Hope that you don't have to get out there and do too much of that. And ladies and gentlemen, if you do, just be careful, okay? Don't overdo it. You don't have to do it all in one session. If your body's telling you to take a break, okay? Please don't end up in the ER or a statistic. And that goes for you young folks too. Shoveling snow can be a lot of work, especially if you're going to be getting the totals that I'm seeing on the weather report. And Wanda Gorin said, 73 is nice. It's 29 in North Carolina. Yeah, well, actually 29 sounds pretty good. It's kind of funny. I said this before, after a long freeze spell like this, once the temperature actually gets up to, 32, above freezing, 32 centigrade, I guess, no, 32 Fahrenheit, which would be 0 centigrade for those outside the US. Once it gets above that, it feels downright tropical. I mean, I don't even need a coat. Once it gets above 32, it's like I'll just put the a little vest on. Don't even bother with a coat. Okay, Amber, good morning to you. She says hello and all. She's all my friends here in Louisville, Kentucky. Okay, from me and all my friends here in Louisville, Kentucky. It's cold and 21 degrees here. Burr, Amber, stay warm. I've got a lot of friends in Louisville. Hope you all are doing well. And Karen says, good morning and happy Friday. It's sunny and blue skies and 68 here in Mesa, Arizona. Wow. Enjoy it. I know parts of Arizona do get snow, but perhaps it's not your day today. And Alana says, weathered out the storm in Tennessee, but we are a wee bit, I guess, a wee bit cold, maybe. Yeah. And let's see, Betty. Oh, I just got a lot of things load here. Hold on, let me find out where I was. I'm so slow, so far behind, but it's so great to see everybody in the chat. Okay, Betty says, hello from West Virginia. Hey, Betty, I hope you're ready for the storm. And Phil says, hello, everyone from a cold Sioux Falls, South Dakota, currently about 5 degrees, wind chill, very sub-zero. Burr, Phil, I don't know how you all do it. I hope you're keeping your rig, um, warm, keeping that engine block from freezing up on you. I don't know if that's a problem you have during these times. I know it's a Canada thing, up, further up north, but, I hope things are well with you and you're able to stay warm. And Hannah, thank you for joining us. Hannah's our fearless moderator, keeps the chat safe, and she's a wonderful greeter. My daughter, love her, and she's getting ready to get snow. It's gonna be fun, hon. Don't go anywhere, okay? um, and Kathleen, good morning to you. And DS, is it DSCAG? I know it's probably an acronym or something. Well, hello to you. And Diane says, hello, Diane from New Jersey. Welcome. Glad you can join us. And Cindy, great to have you. I'll wave right back at you. And uh says RO. I wonder if that's uh my friend. Anyway, it looks like these little abbreviations are changing again. But RO Ollie, good to have you. Or OIE, happy Friday to you too. Okay, Hannah says she's going to spend her time when the snow comes reading books and doing puzzles. She's really good at that. This gal, by the way, she can do a 2,000 piece puzzle in an afternoon, or in just maybe 3 4 hours. Am I right, Hannah? Um, she was my my child. Maybe she's going to give me the answer. She regularly does 1,000 piece puzzles like in 1 or 2 sittings. It's really, and she says, nope, 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 1,000. Okay, got it. So 1,000 piece puzzles in an afternoon. Um, I've seen her do that when she was like 3 years old. 2 to 3 years old, she had a 100 piece children's puzzle memorized. Visual skills off the scale, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Yeah, Hannah says she's gonna have to go to the store before then, before the snow gets here. Well, hurry up, Hannah. As you know, the longer you wait, the busier it's gonna be. Okay, got it. She says it takes her an afternoon just to sort the pieces for a 2,000 piece puzzle. But she's done so many of those, I've lost track. And DL Chris, it's good to have you. She says, good morning from no snow in Southern Oregon. Hmm. Well, that might not be such a bad thing, but you know what? There are storms, there are systems behind what's here. I looked at the weather report and it looks like we're expected to get snow midweek, next week, but the percentages aren't quite up to 100%, and it won't be until it actually happens. But so we just got to keep an eye on that. Just keep lots of yarn on hand in case. And Carolyn the Corn Dog says good morning from I guess Northern California. I'm guessing what that is. And Racine, good morning to you. I'm waving back at you. Um, and DSKAG says chilly for here in Southwest Florida, only 68 right now. Yeah, I understand. Having grown up in Hialeah in South Florida, it was a big deal when it got down into the 50s. And you all north of that area don't laugh because if you grow up in Florida, you have one wardrobe and it's mostly sneakers. Or some people like flip flops. I never did, but it's very very summery clothing, and you might have a jacket, or if some people might have a coat somewhere in the house, but generally speaking, we just don't have the clothes for that. It just doesn't happen often enough to have the investment. In fact, the house I grew up in, once the kerosene heater gave up the ghost when I was a little kid, my mom and dad didn't replace it, so we did not have central AC or air or anything like that. It was a very simple, small Florida house, a CBS block in Hialeah, and you know, 3 very small bedrooms, but it was home. It was our home, and I loved it. Um, yeah, we did not have indoor heat, so when it got cold, we would just close our windows, our hurricane style windows as tightly as we could, and just try to keep the warmth, the body heat and everything in the house. And for the most part, that worked. You'd have a few days out of the year where you just really were cold. And if it was really bad, you just get out and try to go visit the mall or go somewhere that had heat. But in the nighttime, you just pile a lot of blankets on the bed. It's kind of like old school. I know we did not have a fireplace either. South Florida, no. Um, yeah, so just to let you know, I don't know if any people Floridians are doing that like we did in the 70s and the 80s, but yeah, we did not have indoor heat. So so when it gets cold, it gets cold. Um, and yeah, way down in the 50s, a phrase of my mom for many years. Once she moved up here with me, she kind of dropped that way down in the 50s because that felt warm at that point. But anyway, yeah, I understand. So I am sympathizing with you in Florida. Okay. Let's see. Alana says we are a bit sick, so I'll catch you later. Love you guys and love your sweater bunny. Thank you so much, Alana. I'm so sorry you're not feeling well. And Cynthia says, "Hey everyone, getting ready for round two. It's cold here in North Carolina. Yeah, it is. We thought we were going to get round two. The early predictions for here in Maryland, where I am, were like close to 2 feet of snow. That's what they were saying a few days ago, and then the yeah, I guess that's what the computer models were saying, and then it all changed, and now it's Hannah and the Carolinas are going to be getting the snow. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. That means we probably will get to go to church this weekend, which will be really nice. Um, and see for oh, thank you, Alana, for yeah. Um, she says, "Hello, sorry you're sick." Yeah, thank you for looking out for your friends there in the chat. And Virginia, says, "Good morning, all. I'm disabled and was housebound from the storm until today. Cabin fever. I see the upcoming Crochet Along to her left. So excited." Yeah, I'm going to be talking about that in just a bit. And thank you all who've invested in the pattern for this upcoming project. You are helping to keep the heat on here. So thank you so much. Um, and oh, Wendy at the yarn shop. I was just praying for your husband this morning, Wendy. I hope you and your husband, I hope he's improving and getting better. So good to hear from you. I keep saying this, I need to get up there. I just have not gotten out at all. I really want to get out and go on a drive, but I also I have a in my Miata's 5 years old. This is gonna be 5 years old soon, and that means the battery is more than 5 years old. I've never changed the battery, and we tried to start it earlier, when the snow came, we went out to shovel, and we wanted to start the cars to make sure they were still alive. It did turn over, but barely. So, that just tells me that the battery is weak. So, when we're having, these temperatures, 19 for the high, I'm a little hesitant to get out and go anywhere, turn the engine off, and then find out that, "Oh, I need a new car battery to start this thing again." Because, I don't those of you who may not know about car batteries, but extreme heat and extreme cold can really kill them. And if the battery's just barely hanging on, normal moderate weather won't bother them too much, but the cold can absolutely, reveal a problem that's been in process. Uh, okay. I'll look at that question in just a minute, Hannah. Um, and let's see. All right. Amber says, yes, we are. School has been canceled all week and we're expecting more snow this weekend. Oh boy, that's a lot. And and ROOIE. I know they probably shortened somebody's um, name there. So she says, "I'm in Atlanta." She says, "I'm in Atlanta and the wind chill will be -6 this weekend." Burr. Yeah, yeah. It's gonna be cold, y'all. I would be real careful if you're in Atlanta. I would stay off the roads. So I would stay off of that expressway, off the beltway, if you can, because I know if there's even just a little bit of anything or any wetness that turns to black ice, that place is going to be a nightmare. Um, okay, Hannah has a question. Do people need to be subscribers to be part of the Crochet Along? Okay, well let's go ahead and talk about that. Okay, we have the Crochet Along starting Monday, February 2nd. Okay, it's not the first, it's the second, Groundhog's Day. Um, and this is the Crochet Along in case anyone out there is new to my channel. This is a 47 inches wide, but I'm just going to leave it folded just for purposes. And we're going to start with those bottom stitches here. And I believe we go up through maybe this part. No, or maybe up to here. We have a lot for the first week to learn a lot of stitches. So take it easy. But this crochet along is called the Celtic Sampler Throw. And I'll just show you, just give you another view. Okay, it is 47 inches wide. Just don't think it's just a big stole. Okay. And then we end with the Saxon cable. So the way this works, I mean, this is not, I am not one of those channels that you have to do all these things to fall in line to get the information. These are going to be freely released on YouTube, one at a time. Video one this coming Monday, and then the following Monday another, and then the following Monday another. You don't have to join anything. You don't even have to subscribe to this channel. You can get it. But if you want to make sure that you get the videos, I highly encourage you. I mean, I would love it if you could subscribe to my channel, the YouTube channel. It's free, doesn't cost anything. It does help me when you watch the videos. It really does, cumulatively, it does help with what I do. Now, I've tried to set up, in order to make it easier, I do highly recommend that you purchase the written pattern. It's $10.95. It's available in my Etsy store, and I believe the link is now working in my Lovecraft store. Just to let you all in on that, the reason I didn't lead with the Lovecrafts link is they gave me a broken link from the get-go. And as you can imagine, this time of the year, there are the interest in these crafts picks up. So that means the administrators at these places like Lovecrafts, Etsy, I know are busy. They're a lot busier. This is the busy time of the year because people are stuck indoors and there's not a whole lot else to do. And that's great, right? For me, that's great. But that link was broken. So that didn't serve me very well, so I only had to do with the Etsy. But thank you for those of you who went over to Etsy and purchased that pattern. I so appreciate that. Now, people have asked me, do I have to purchase the pattern? No, you don't have to purchase the pattern. If you are comfortable just going with the video instruction without the stitch diagrams, without the written instruction, without photos of what is supposed to look like, then fine. But the pattern is 18 pages long. It took me weeks to put the pattern together, just creating all the stitch diagrams and different things. It's not a complete stitch diagram of every stitch in the blanket. Just know that would be really hard to read, and I would still be working on that until Kingdom Come. But you do have a sampling of what each stitch is supposed to look like. Okay. You cannot crochet this pattern just from the stitch diagrams. You're going to need the written word, or you're going to need the video tutorial. So I hope I'm clear about that. Now, I also set up a Facebook page, and I know some people are, I don't like Facebook. Fine, you don't have to follow if you don't want to. But I have my regular Bonnie Babe Crochet Facebook page, and then I set up another that you can like or follow if you would like to. That's just going to be talking about this project, the Celtic cable, the Celtic Sampler Throw. And this is going to be a place where you can ask questions. I just ask that people please be nice and be nice to each other. And most of you are you'll do fine, but this is going to attract a lot more outside people. So I'm going to have to be diligent to make sure that I can keep out the spammers and the scammers and stuff like that. Um, I will say what you can and cannot post on here. Please feel free to post questions. Please feel free to post photos of your progress, or if you're having a problem. If you're not comfortable posting it on a Facebook page, you can always email me, bonniebay@me.com. That's everywhere. If you go to my website, you could look at my my video description here. I have my email just about everywhere. It's my business email. So you can always contact me privately and send me a picture of the problem, whatever. I've done that for years. Um, I just be wary. Don't This is not a page to promote your personal business. If you of any kind. And it's not a place to post spam in the lot. You know what I'm talking about, in the like. So, but if questions, it's a place to do questions, to respond and to encourage those who do post, photos and questions and whatnot. So that's what I'm trying to make here for that site. I've kind of reawakened the old site, and I'm kind of piggybacking on the days when we had the colorful cables throw crochet along, and had a Facebook page for that. And just to let you all know from the get-go, I am going to be collecting, with permission, I'm going to be collecting pictures of finished projects, and I would love to put together another slideshow of everybody's work on this project, like I did years ago with the colorful cables throw. And again, feel free to use different colors. I would encourage you to stick to lighter colors, is especially if you're not familiar with these stitches, because it just makes it easier to see. But do what you want. I would stay away from fast changing ombre yarns, because I think that would confuse things really fast. It's harder for me, at least, to see the stitches. And if you want to make this, a stash buster, go for it. And even though I'm recommending a worsted weight yarn, somebody had a great question this week. Well, can I just use fingering weight and make it a big scarf? You can try that. I have not, I don't know what the dimensions would be for something like that, but if you want to do that and you have enough of the fingering weight yarn to try that, go for it. I might even actually try that at some point. So let me see. Hannah sent me another. Okay, and the name of the pattern for the crochet along, again, just to be clear, it's Celtic Sampler Throw. I do have other cabled things, mini cable things on my site. So it's the Celtic Sampler Throw, and some places it'll say Crochet Along. Perhaps not on the actual pattern, but anyway. And Hannah said, sending a question, do you have the pattern for the sweater that I am wearing? Yes, this is a crochet sweater. I mentioned it earlier. This is the colorful popcorn pullover. I do have a link for this in the video description. If you go to my homepage and look under playlist, it's also listed in crochet sweaters. And again, you can substitute, this colorful, crazy color changing yarn for just make it all solid. You can make this all one color, and then the body, another color. There's a lot of things you can do with this. And Brat's mom has an excellent question. Yes, is the Celtic blanket for the crochet along on the watch channel? Thank you for asking that, Linda. Yes, it is. This actually is already active on the watch channel with the pattern. So if you are part of one of my watch channel subscribers, please do not purchase this pattern. It's already there for you. It's complimentary as a part of your paid monthly subscription, which incidentally costs less than what the pattern is for this month. So, and if you're interested in the watch channel, it's watch.bonniebaycrochet.com. I also, again, I'll link in the video description. It is just a place where you can watch my best content and a lot of content that's not here publicly, without interruption, no spam, no commercials, none of that. And whenever I release new designs, you get the pattern complimentary. And there are many patterns on there that you can download instantly today if you joined. So, and yeah, and it's $7.95 a month, which is about the cost, just to put it in perspective, because I know, if you have to pay for something, people freak out now because a lot of people have their crochet patterns for free. And you also know that when you offer them for free, that they are full of advertisement. It might take you 30 pages of ink, to print out this little pattern because of all the ads. So in a sense, they're getting crochet designers, and I'm not saying that it's wrong, or it's just a different model. I just don't go for that model because I just don't like all that stuff. Um, so anyway, but I'm just, yeah, just to put the 7.95 in perspective, it's about the cost of a cup of coffee and maybe a bagel. That and that's it. So it's not as detrimental as people may think, or horrifying to have to support a crochet or a knit designer. And I thank you so much, those of you who understand that, because without that, you would just be subject to too many commercials and a lot of other stuff. And I just don't. I'm just glad I don't have to drive a lot of traffic to my channel, just just to make it on a pattern. So, um, and Diane says about the headband. Where did I put the headband? Yeah. Is the basket weave headband pattern on the watch channel? I can't seem to find it. I'm not sure. I'll need to check on that. Diane, what you can do is, go to hats and headbands. I think there's a category for that, and click on that. You may have to click on it, to see all and to see everything in there. But I'll check on that today. Um, and if you are okay, I might get myself into trouble here, but if you are already a newsletter subscriber, now the newsletter, the Bonnie Bay Crochet newsletter, is free. You can look at the video description again. There's a link, bonniebaycrochet.com. If you just go to my homepage on my website, and if you are already a subscriber, this pattern was included in the newsletter that went out yesterday. So I don't always put free patterns in there, but every so often I like to just, go peruse my library and say, this is a good pattern that's kind of been buried. I should bring this one out again. And so I like to do that every so often for my newsletter subscribers. So if you, like I said, Diane, if you are a subscriber, you've gotten the pattern already. But I will check. I will check on that once I get done and see if that is on the watch channel. Okay. If you want to email me, Diane, that would be great. Send me an email, bonniebay@me.com, and I will let you know. And it also just be another reminder for me. I need all the prompts I can get. And getting back to talking about the throw, again, good news and bad news. The good news is, if you are looking for this yarn, I use 23 skeins of Lovecraft's Paintbox Simply Aran. And I think it was in cream or something like that. And the bad news is this particular color is not available. They do have maybe 7 colors available right now in stock. If you buy the individual balls of yarn, they're actually 44% off. That's a really good price, but their selection is nil right now. So that's the downside. Another good point is you can use whatever worsted weight you have available in your area. You're not, conscripted to have to use this only. You can use whatever you like. Use your favorite. Use yarn from your stash, especially if you can't get out and can't afford just one more thing. I totally understand that. Use what you have. As long as you have you're gonna need about 4,600 yards. Okay. And I think that covers it. If you have any other questions on that, check out the Facebook page, or you can always just contact me directly and I will try to get to you. I'm going to look at this question Hannah sent me earlier. Um, yes, worsted is a number 4. Thank you, Hannah. Someone's asking if you can make a crocheted cape. They've seen them on Pinterest. I have I have a few of those. What you can do if you're looking for something like that, look on my homepage, look under playlist, click playlist, and then you'll have a list of, different items that are kind of categorized. And I do have one. It won't say capes, but it'll say ponchos or stoles, things like that. If you click on that, there is at least one cape, and a variety of other things that you can check out. So I hope that helps. Okay. Um, Thank you, Hannah. I'll have to look that up later. I'm afraid to click on that right now because I don't wanna derail the live, right now, but the person that was asking that question, you can, again, contact me directly, and I will try to get back to you. I can't believe it's 12:41 already, um, and I have not even gotten to a fraction of these comments. Um, Angela, good to have you. She says, "Glad I made it, listening while I work." Good for you, girl. And, Ola Joe, the crochet sailor, so good to have you in our chat, my dear. Um, I can't wait till we can get together someday. I owe you lunch, okay? Whenever that is. Um, oh, wow. Phil said where he is, it's bone biting wind. Ah, I'm just staying inside. I'm so sorry, Phil. I hope you can, get someplace where you can stay warm. And Ola Joe said the Inca spice is nice. That's the okay, what she says about Inca spice. This is the yarn. I've only seen this one place, Ola Joe. I don't know. Yeah, I picked it up out of a clearance bin for like pennies on the dollar, but it was great yarn. It took two about 200-yard skeins, but yeah, it's really nice yarn. Um, oh, thank you, Cindy. You are so welcome. She says, "Thank you for your love and support." Absolutely. Oh, Hannah's saying that to Cindy. Okay. Yes, thank you, Hannah, for being gracious there. I'm getting confused. I'll blame it on the cold. The cold weather. Um, Ola Joe says, "I'm on a phone call, but still have you playing." Um, and Phil says he's never heard of Ink and Spice yarn. Yeah, I hadn't either, but I sure enjoyed using it. Apparently, a lot of other people haven't heard of it, or it wouldn't have been in the clearance bin. Um, and yeah, beautiful as a neck warmer. Thank you, Ola Joe. Yeah, 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 and it'll work as a neck warmer. I know you may not be the most beautiful one or fashionable one, but when it's below 0 and single digits, fashion is not the main thing on my mind. It's staying alive and warm is. Um, and Angela says, "I'm scrambling to finish a 6-day star baby blanket so I can start the cowl on Monday." Yeah, that's with our friend, Betty McKnitt, right? I don't know if you saw this last week, but she sent me her booklet on this 6-day planner. So where are you? Yeah, I wonder where you are, because if you're inside the US, let me know because I can send this to you if you are interested in it, Angela. So if you're in the US, email me, bonniebay@me.com, and I will send you this booklet, okay? Um, Ola Jo says, "I need that as a headband too." Oh, thank you. Thank you, Ola Jo. You're so sweet. Um, Jet One In, good to have you in the chat too. Again, you were on my prayer list this morning. I hope things are going well with your business and family. Just to let you know, we haven't forgotten about you, and I don't believe the Lord has either. He's with you on this, so I hope things are going well. And if not, I hope you're learning a lot and feeling peaceful. Either way. And thank you, Cindy. She said, "It looks so warm." The headband is very warm, but not too hot. Let me say that. Let me say something about that. Where did I put it? Did it just go sliding? It just slid. Oh, here it is. Let me put a plug in for natural fibers, okay? Um, the beautiful thing about natural fibers, and I'm not saying you have to buy this for everything, you don't. I'm a big proponent of use whatever you got, and I use as much as acrylic as anybody out there, okay? But I love the natural. Love the natural fibers too. The one thing that's nice about them is that they are breathable. They will keep you warm, but unlike 100% polyester, if you know what I'm talking about, and acrylic sweaters, I can't wear them because they just get stained with sweat marks because they just heat me up over and beyond. Natural fibers do not. I mean, obviously, if you're wearing a wool sweater in the middle of the summer in Florida, you're gonna get sweaty and hot. But I'm just saying, like, for wearing these to warm up, it will keep you warm, but it's also breathable, just the natural, uh, qualities of natural dumb, I'm redundant here, but of natural fibers is it's breathable too, so it's more comfortable than if you have you know, more of the acrylics, kind of thing, or at least for me personally. Now, some people who have far less, and this is not making a judgment or anything, but and people who like have a lot less body mass than I do, and maybe some of us in our later years, um, you might love acrylic because it keeps you from freezing, because you get cold faster, and that's fine. So that's where anyway. Anyway, just wanted to put that in. I'm not saying don't ever do this or don't ever do that, but there are differences in when you use different types of fibers. Some are more breathable than others. That's all I'm saying. They're more breathable than man-made fibers. Um, we have Tinkerbell. Cool. If I can't be on February for the Celtic blanket, blah blah blah. Will there be a written pattern? I have surgery that day on my back. Oh my goodness. Tinkerbell. Hannah, can you write that down to put her on our prayer list? I will be praying for you on that day. And Tinkerbell, God knows who you are. That's a good name for me to remember. That is an excellent question. And I am so, so, so glad that you asked that. I've had people ask me the same question. Um, I understand that this crochet along is not going to be at the center of a lot of your lives. That's fine. And let me also say that if you fall behind according to the release of the videos, please don't worry. I don't want you to feel like I've got to get all of this done before the next Monday. No, you don't. Okay. I just want to be real clear about this. Um, I'm releasing the videos 1 per week just because that's my video release schedule, and I'm also working with an algorithm on YouTube and so forth. Um, and some crocheters will have the first part done in 3 days or 2 days. Others will it'll take a month or 2, or they won't even get to it, finish that first part until the next year. I understand all that. The videos will be there perpetually. I mean, as long as I'm alive, and as long as even beyond that, as long as YouTube is in existence, I intend to have the videos there available for whomever wants to use it, okay? They're not gonna disappear. You're not on a super time constraint. Now, the only time constraint would be if you want to, try to keep current and participate with those who are posting photos and stuff like that. Again, you don't have to do that. That's not required. No one's requiring that of you. That's just there for those who enjoy doing that. And I think it will help spur others on if you do post progress reports. It doesn't have to be the whole, first video, but even just the beginning. If you just want to post, hey, I'm enjoying the way this is looking, and you put a post up there on Facebook, that's great. But no, they're the pattern. I intend to keep this in my pattern store a long, 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 long time. The videos are not going anywhere. So please rest assured. And that reminds me, I wanted to say something about all of these different patterns. This is my business model of releasing new designs. Um, I'm not trying to shoot myself in the foot by saying this metaphorically, but you don't have to do everything. And And you know that. I mean, there are only like maybe a million other YouTubers out there crocheting at this point with their videos. And I understand, one of our friends here is working on the Betty McKnitt 6-day challenge, the star blanket and all of that. There are so many excellent things out there. And I know that, you want to do this or that. Yeah, I'm the same way. And what you can do, make a list, but I just don't want you to feel pressure in any way that you have to do it within this time constraint, because I shouldn't have to say this. Many of you don't need to hear this, but for those of you who do, this is for fun. This is supposed to be for fun, for our personal growth, for our enjoyment. And I don't want you to feel constrained by anybody else's, especially my video release schedule. Okay, I'm just doing that just because that's part of what I'm doing for my business model. But feel freedom to to do this on your own time. Um, it's not a race. I don't want anyone to feel pressure. This should be pure enjoyment. There's going to be a little bit of well, maybe more than a little bit of a learning curve on some of these, but I just don't want you to be, I can't do it, and she's going to the next video. Contact me. We'll try to work it out. And if it's a stitch that is just so mind boggling, we'll just skip it and go on to the next one. This thing is 68 inches long. So if there's a stitch that you just don't want to do, repeat one of the ones that you liked instead. I mean, this is supposed to be fun and enjoyable. And so anyway, but thank you, thank you. I'm not giving that TED talk just to Tinkerbell. That's Tinkerbell. Your comment just reminded me of something that I wanted to say and I forgot to put in my notes. So thank you for that. And I do pray that you come through that. Oh, on your back. I'm just reading it again. I have surgery that thing on my back. Um, Coming from one who has had spinal cord surgery about 22 years ago, I will pray for you. I will pray that it will be totally successful and that your healing process will go well. I will pray for you. Okay. Um, Archer and Ace, it's good to have you. I hope you and Beth and the cats and everybody are doing well. Thinking about you, I know the temperatures. I did check Ohio area where you all are. You guys are cold. Stay warm, my friend. I hope you don't have to go out anywhere. And thank you, Hannah, for encouraging Tinkerbell. Um, and Rosales, good to have you, my friend. I hope you got my messages today. She said we have 20 inches of snow in Poughkeepsie, New York, and expecting more on Sunday. I am in for the last 5 days getting a lot of needlework done. Oh my goodness. I hope you have people bringing you what you need, my dear. You do not need to be out in that. I hope you live in a community where somebody else is shoveling the sidewalks and the driveways too. I love hearing from you. Hope we can meet again, maybe in Pittsburgh next year, if all goes well. And Donna says Louisiana had temperatures in the 20s this month. Whoa. Yeah, that's cold. Hope the bayou didn't freeze. Yeah, very cold. And Phil says easy peasy basket weavy. That's cute. Yes, it is, Phil. And Diane, so glad that you can be here. And Stephanie, you too. Let's see. I'm so far behind, guys. Girls. Ugh. I'm gonna go a little bit longer today, so just to let you all know, Hannah, you'll get a bonus, I promise. You guys are so encouraging. Well, let me see. Let me just see if there's anything else on my list here. All right, for those of you who may be terrified of this throw with all the cables, let me just revisit. This is another throw. Well, there goes this is a heavy blanket. My first cable throw. This is basically the motif across. Easier, much easier. It's a great way to be introduced to the 4-post cable. Just wanted to throw that out there in case those of you are new. Do I have another example? Yes, I do. I'm grabbing things from here and there. And this particular throw Many people were asking, well, how do you get the red blanket? Well, the same pattern for the green one is the same for the red. It's just worked with smaller yarn. This is DK weight yarn. This is size 6 or I think 6, super bulky yarn, the Bernat blanket yarn. So depending on what you use, and if you wanted to make something like this but make it wider, you just add multiples of 13 to the original starting chain. So anyway, my first cable throw, that's what that's called. It's on the home page. It's on my channel. So you can check that out. If you are new to cables and have no idea where to start, this might actually be a better start than this one, because I think this one, if you have never done cables before, this could be frustrating. But that said, if you are a confident beginner and you're not afraid of making mistakes and you're not afraid of learning something new, you can give it a try. But I do have some other projects, this one and another one called the Blue Ridge Throw. I should bring that in here. The Blue Ridge Throw, which would be much better projects to start cables if you've absolutely never done a crochet cable. That would be a better starting place, and then maybe move on to something that has a lot more to it. Okay. All right. Thank you, Hannah. Um, okay. Good question, Hannah. From Stephanie Canales. She says, concerning the headband and natural fibers. Okay, there is one caveat I forgot to mention. If you're allergic to wool, don't use wool. If you are allergic to wool, I would encourage you to maybe try some brands of alpaca yarn. But again, the caveat for that is if the alpaca yarn has been processed on equipment that also processes wool, you could find yourself allergic to it. But generally speaking, if the alpaca, which is part of the camelid family, you know, camels and llamas and animals like that, um, people usually are not allergic to that if they're allergic to sheep wool, if that makes sense. So, but if so, you just need to make sure or ask the company, you know, whether it was processed in a place that also processes sheep wool, because if so, then it can easily pick up the allergens from the wool that was processed before it, if that makes sense. But generally speaking, what you may want to try if you're allergic to wool, try some of the other, try cashmere. Uh, well, try alpaca. That's very different. Try alpaca. And if not, then the acrylics are fine. Acrylics are for you. Um, Fibers that are grown, like linen and cotton, although they don't tend to have much elasticity, but but you can try them with certain stitches. It might actually add a little bit of elasticity. So yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem, Stephanie. A friend of mine who is a crochet designer is allergic to wool. So she cannot design with wool. She has to use, she uses a lot of cotton, linen, that kind of thing, and acrylic. Um, all right, let me make sure there's another question Hannah sent here. Okay, I think I've caught up to Hannah's questions. Um, yeah. Let me back up to where I was. I completely lost my place. It is almost 1 o'clock. I know those of you who need to go. Um, I'm sorry I didn't get through everything. Let me give you one more announcement. I'm going to just keep going with the comments because I know a lot of us are it's too cold to go anywhere. So I may go over for a bit. I did sign up today and it was confirmed. I hope to have a table, or I am planning to have a table at the Frederick Fiber Festival in Frederick, Maryland. That would be April 25th. And I believe the hours are 9 to 5 or 9 to 4 or something like that. You definitely want to get there on the early side. But that Frederick Fiber Festival has only grown and grown and grown. Each year it has only gotten bigger. So be sure to mark April 25th on your calendar, especially if you're in the Maryland, Virginia, DC, Pennsylvania area. they have a wonderful display um, of vendors selling all kinds of yarn and everything. I'll be there. I'll be selling some crochet samples. These are things that I crocheted up for my videos, but um, yeah, there are actually samples. I don't generally don't make something and then sell it. It's just not uh, it, it's not a good time thing for me. I'm more into the design process, but I do have a lot of samples. So I'm going to have them on a rack for sale at reasonable prices. Also just there to demonstrate what these stitches look like. And I'll have my books and my leaflets there available. I'll have some specials there as well. And I will have some special things. If you come up to me and say, I watch you on Friday Fun, or I subscribe to your YouTube channel or whatever, I have a little special stash of things I usually hold aside for people like that. Just a little booklet, or just something I like to, or tape measure, pens and stuff. But I do like to have some giveaways when I'm out there. But anyway, and I'll be available to sign books, either that you've already purchased, or if that you're going to purchase that day, whatever. So again, April 25th, Frederick Fiber Festival. Assuming my body is holding up to the task, I plan on being there. So let me go ahead and see if there were any other questions. Thank you, Hannah, for putting um, that playlist link in the chat. Okay. Okay. And yeah. Um, oh, thank you, Nicole. I'm glad you're enjoying this. I hope you can join us for that crochet along. She says it's beautiful. Thank you. And Usha, thank you. She says she likes my jumper, which is another word for sweater for those of us in the US, because I know some people get confused by that. But thank you so much. Um, all right, thank you all for caring for Donna too, um, with the recovery. Brad Small said, I just replaced my car battery. Thank God it gave me a warning and didn't leave me high and dry. Yeah, for the record, my car hasn't left me high and dry yet so far, but if I'm out shopping or go out getting food or something and it's single digits, I just don't want to be stuck in that parking lot, with a dead battery. Um, uh, oh, and Donna says, I just had my gallbladder taken out, so I am housebound right now, and crocheting has been my sanity. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry about that. Hannah, great question. She wants to know, is the Frederick Fiber Festival for one day only? Yes, it is only on Saturday. I generally don't market, or I try not to work on Sunday. If there's any way at all possible, I like to save that for the Lord's Day. Um, so yeah, it's just one day. It's just one day, April 25th. And it's a very full day. Uh, Okay, and Stephanie, if you're looking for the materials and all that for the crochet along, you can look in the video description. I do have a few paragraphs that deal with all of that, but it's basically 23 skeins of the Paintbox yarn, or approximately 4,600 yards of whatever worsted weight yarn you'd like to use. And we have, is it Bidoli? Again, I don't know if that's an acronym or a name, from Turkey. Well, welcome. She says it's 8:30 here. Wow. Yeah, it's other side of the world just about. So glad to have you here. Back in 2022, I so loved visiting your country. I got to see even the ancient city of Ephesus and some other places. Really enjoyable for me. Um, okay. Oh, wow, I completely missed that. Thank you, Stephanie, for your super chat, $10 donation. I need to write that down when I get done here. Oops, there goes a ball of yarn. Thank you so much. And as some of you may know, I believe we're off to a fresh start this year. So that'll be the beginning of saving towards our uh, what happens is, after we come to $100 in the super chat, I don't advertise this or anything, but when we get to $100 on the super chat, then we make that a donation to one of my favorite charities. It's usually Shriners Hospital for Children or Rancho 3M, which is a Christian school and an orphanage in outside of Juarez, Mexico, a place there my daughter Becky and I have been on the compound doing work, helping them back in a long time ago. It's been 20 years ago, 2006. Whew. But it's a great place. A lot of lives changed. So whenever that happens, we donate the $100 or whatever the amount is, and I try to come up with a parody song that takes a beautiful song that and we change it up with crochet lyrics and try to have a little laugh and fun with it. So thank you for that. Thank you, Stephanie, for your kindness there. Um, and Bidoli saying about these crocheted capes on Pinterest. Yeah, definitely check the ones that I have. You can always, contact me, bonniebay@me.com, and I can take a look at what you're looking at. Ah, Diane says, I fixed the strange handle on my name. Yeah, they're giving things kind of weird now. And Donna, great to have you with us. Donna Cornett, what a great name. Um, yeah. Um, And we have Trish from southeastern West Virginia, another 6-inch forecast. Oh boy. And another front coming in tomorrow, says Donna. I'm going backwards here in the chat. And we have Lynn from Scotland. She says, looking forward to doing the crochet along, trying to decide what color to use. I can't wait to see what colors you all use on this. You always surprise me, and I just marvel at the choices. Sometimes they're so wonderful. All right. Oh, is Phil having trouble? I'm going backwards. He says, okay. Okay. I'm going to see what's going on here. Diane says she's in New Jersey at 17, feels like 2. Yikes. And back to Phil. He says, my truck has fuel tank heaters and the engine returns hot fuel to the tank. So getting up is not a big issue much anymore. And then he says, but I am at Freightliner getting my bunk heater fixed as it has not worked since I got the truck. But until now, they had no adapter to plug into the heater to diagnose the problem. Oh, I hope you get that fixed, Phil. Goodness gracious. And then Harvey says, Ty just popped on. Glad to catch the live. Sandy. Okay, Sandy, thank you so much. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to with these, like I say, these handles, for the YouTube channel. It's really, really concerning. Archer Nate says is 14 in Cleveland. Wow. Phil says, pro tip for shoveling, do not drink coffee before shoveling. The caffeine with the strenuous exercise is a recipe for a heart attack. Huh, I did not know that, but I'm not a coffee drinker, so, did not know that, Phil. Yeah. Yeah. Wow, that's not what we want. All right. Well, let me get towards the bottom here, see if there's anything else. If I missed your comment today, I apologize. There's just a lot in the chat, and I just wanted to get through as many as I can. And Red Hook says, hello from a snowy and cold Northeast Ohio. We got 14 inches of snow Monday. Whew, we haven't been above 15 degrees in 9 days. Looking forward to the 20s next week. Oh my goodness. Well, stay warm, my friend. Oh my goodness. Um, and Rosella says, I cannot. Okay, that's about the sound on your computer. You may have mute on your computer, Rosales. Yeah, you're not gonna be able to we're not gonna be able to I mean, as far as talk, as far as typing, you may have to sign into your channel, to your Google account for YouTube. And Felisa Weatherspoon, great to have you with us. He says, good morning, sis, Bonnie, and everyone. Thank you so much. And let's see, I think I'm kind of caught up. Yeah, Hannah thinks that's good advice for Rosales. Try refreshing the screen. Okay, and yeah. All right, so I'm catching up here slowly. Okay, and Virginia's talking about the Crochet Along, saying I work best from the videos, but I like to buy the patterns for projects. I do to support the designer. Thank you so much. Thank you, Virginia. I appreciate that. And Donna says, okay, as far as I guess recovery is slow, but getting there. They used the Da Vinci on me. I'm not sure what that is, but it is supposed to heal faster, but we'll see. I hope you get better, Donna. Wow. Yeah, and Linda, yes. The Celtic blanket is on the watch channel and complementary pattern, just to repeat that. All right, and we have Nicole. Good to have you with us. And Stephanie says, okay, thank you. I hope I can print in black and white. Sure. Sometimes I can't print patterns due to the color on them. Yeah, you should be fine. The only thing is the stitch diagrams that show the stitches crossing in front are in red, so that it's clear which are in front and which are in back. But it'll just be darker when you print it in black and white. It should be fine. Thank you for getting that pattern, Hannah. Okay. All right. Oh wow, the Da Vinci machine. Okay, Donna says it's a mechanical machine. It punches through the skin in five places and lifts the liver so we can get to the gallbladder and take it out. Yikes. So wow, that's something. It's been a while since I've caught up on some of these advances in medicine like that, but like it's kind of like robotic surgery then. Wow. Yeah, Jet One In says no ads on the watch channel. Thank goodness. Thank you for doing that. My pleasure. I just don't operate well in atmospheres where you have to swim through the ads and the pop-ups and everything. And so I just understand, just figure nobody else does either. I know everybody's not like me. Some people don't mind that, but it's just too distracting for me, and I just don't want to do business that way. But I know a lot of my friends who do, and everybody just has to make their own decision, and that's fine. Donna, that's great. If you can join the Crochet Along, that would be fun. Um, but again, take it easy, okay? It'll be waiting for you when you're ready. She says she has 2 belly buttons now, but it will go away. Yay! Diane found the headband in the newsletter. Good. Thank you, Amber. She says, I make a lot of the Celtic scarves. I love those patterns. Thank you for sharing the patterns. Thank you for your encouragement there. And Stephanie, thank you. She says, thank you, Hannah and Bonnie. I just love you all so much. I am very appreciative of all of you. And me of you too, Stephanie, and all of you who are so supportive of what we do here. Jet One In says, adding that yarn to the cart for the Crochet Along, hoping 25 is enough. We think alike here. I would always order more than what is said because I have run short on projects, knitting projects in particular. Good for you. Thank you for joining us. All right. Yeah, and Stephanie said you stated 47 inches wide, but didn't catch the approximate length. And again, these are always approximate, approximately 68 inches. So it's deep and wide. Okay, so I'm going to have lots of practice on these stitches. And Amber says, doing these Celtic patterns make me feel so close to my Scottish heritage. I am second generation American, and I feel closer to that than my American heritage. Wow. Well, that's cool. Yeah, I guess I'm like second or third generation Irish. There's about a third of my genetics came from Ireland. So, yeah, I mean, and I didn't know that when I fell in love with all of these, so it must be kind of a natural bent in us. And Jet One, it says, "Love Betty McNitt." Yeah, she's a really sweet lady. Uh, and she says, I'm in the Yarny Social." Cool. All right. Well, okay. I think I'm just gonna see if there's anybody new. I really do need to get going here and to release Hannah, so she can go to the store and get what she needs before the snow comes tomorrow. But Sharon says 1 degree this morning in Connecticut, 10 degree for the high, 10 to 20 below wind chill. Stay inside, Sharon, if you can. Cindy says, I'm sick of the winter storms. Yeah, well, it is winter. Just think of how much more we're going to appreciate spring and summer before we start complaining about the heat. um, yeah, I think I did, Hannah. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. I did cover those, hon. All right. And Gypsy Mandolin said, I'm sick of winter, but I enjoy wearing my warm shawls and scarves. Yeah, I mean, I love wearing all these winter stuff, so I kind of enjoy it. And I guess I'm weird because I grew up in Florida, and in Florida as a child, my whole life I dreamed of seeing snow. Of course, that dream has been fulfilled over and over and over again these past 30, going on 38, 39 years, 38 years. Um, we're coming up on our 38th wedding anniversary this summer, so that seems a little surreal. Am I really that old? I guess I am. I got married when I was 2. No. Anyway, uh, oh, thank you, Hannah, for praying for Cindy. That's really cool. Um, looks like Cindy's going to Florida. I missed that. My husband and I are over the road, and we've started on the road, started in Kansas, heading to Florida, and got stuck on I-22 in Mississippi. It took us a week to get to Florida. It was a nightmare. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, that would be tough. Really got to keep an eye on that winter weather. Um, Diane says, I think I'm going to use an off-white for most of the sampler, but I don't have quite enough in my stash. I'm thinking of using 2 shades of gray, silver and steel, also from my stash for the brands. What you can do, Diane, is use the grays for the divider parts, like here and in like these sections where the stitches run horizontally instead of vertically. I think that would be absolutely gorgeous. And I think my back just is telling me I need to get going. Oh, thank you, Patricia. Says God's provisions for each of you, no matter what you may be facing. I'm not sure what that's in reference to. Let me look and see. Okay. Hannah's going to post for me. Prayer request for Cindy Walker and her husband. Okay. Husband. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we definitely will. Yeah, definitely pray for that. Successful move with no further drama or setbacks. Yeah. Oh, you're actually moving to Florida. Wow, that's different. Yeah, I hope that works for you. Well, let me go ahead. I know we've gone over, and I want to encourage you with some reading. As always, this is encouragement that is written by a man named C.H. Spurgeon. I was going to say R.C. Sproul. C.H. Spurgeon. He was a 19th century preacher in London, England, and I just am fed a lot spiritually by his writings. He's a Christian, and I just thought this would be really good for a lot of us in the season of life that you may find yourself, especially if you're recovering from surgery, if you're just not able to do as much as you wanted to do or whatever. Again, just keep in mind this is addressed at Christians, but I hope if that's not you, I hope you can still be encouraged by this and maybe even, be thinking about these things, especially during the wintertime. And this is based on a verse in Exodus 3:1. And the title of this, and this really, really affected me years ago when when this described me. But anyway, I'll read. It's called Laid Aside for a Time. This is counsel for you who are temporarily laid on the shelf. Some of God's best workers have been laid aside for long periods. Moses was 40 years in the desert doing nothing but tending sheep. One greater than Moses, our blessed Savior, was 30 years doing, I will not say nothing, but certainly doing no public work. When you are retired or inactive, prepare for the time when God will use you again. If you are put on the shelf, do not rust. Pray that the Master will polish you so that when he uses you again, you will be fully ready for the work. When you are laid aside, I want you to pray for others that are working. Help them and encourage them. Do not get into that peevish, miserable frame of mind that grudges and undervalues others' efforts. Some people, when they cannot do anything, do not like anybody else to work. Promise that if you cannot help, you will never hinder. Spend time in prayer that you may be fit for the Master's use. At the siege of Gibraltar, try this again. At the siege of Gibraltar, when the fleet surrounded it and determined to storm the old rock, this is going back into history a bit, the governor fired red-hot shot down on the men of war. The enemy did not care for the governor's warm reception. Think how it was done. Here were gunners on the ramparts firing away, and every garrison soldier wanted to join them. What did those who could not fire a gun do? They heeded the shot, and that is what you must do. Your pastor is the master gunner, so heed the shot with him, for him, with your earnest prayers. When you see your friends working for God, or anything else really, if you cannot join them, say, never mind. If I can contribute nothing else, my prayers will heed the shot. Whew. It just reminds me of a time when I very much wanted to be involved in something very near and dear to me, and was put on the shelf for about 12 years. So this speaks a lot to me. So I hope that encourages you all. Well, anyway, stay warm, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Enjoy the snow if you can. Try to stay safe out there, and I hope to see you next week. God bless. Bye bye.